Good morning, good morning, good morning. Greetings and good morning. It is time for Andrea's Morning Tea Chat. Good morning. This morning I have a very special friend, a very special guest for you. Katrina Thomas, we're going to talk about bringing awareness to domestic violence and how much it entails so many other things. And not just bringing awareness, but some things that I've been seeing my sister do that is just out there. I'm bringing you awareness, but I'm also putting out a solution. So join us if you know anyone who is looking for things that they need to do, anyone who is trying to share information on domestic violence. I want you to just bring them in with you. Let's get this information out there. Again, sending an invitation. If you're doing amazing things in the domestic violence arena, if you're one of those warrior sisters out there making change, please contact me. I'd love to have you on here. When you see what this phenomenal sister is doing, you're going to be like, I want to go tell what I'm doing too. But hey, this is all about Katrina today. Katrina, welcome, welcome, and thank you for getting up this morning.
You're welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Morning blessings to everyone.
Katrina, this morning I have been looking at different things and we've been talking about a lot of different stuff about every day about domestic violence. But this month is not just for domestic violence, but it's to propel power into your purpose, to just amp it up, to just blow the airways out with awareness and things that people are doing. But Katrina, I want you to tell us about your business and what you're doing in your area, because not only are you in one area, I need them to understand that you done moved over into another state trying to handle some business. Tell us
Yes,
what you got going
ma'am.
on, sister.
Yes, ma'am. Once again, I'm Katrina. Good morning to everyone that's watching and tuning in. I'm the CEO and founder of Loving Yourself No More Abuse. As Andrea said, I'm welcoming so much into my life that I'm very busy, but I do a lot in different states. But right here, we're going to start where I am in Georgia. I am currently doing so much. I am working with Genesis. It's a shelter out here in Georgia. I'm also working with Salvation Army, which is a safe house, which we can't say too much about. But this is something that God put on me, and I have learned to share the care. And that's my slogan, share the care, because this is something that is worldwide. It's not just in Georgia, it's everywhere, as Andrea said many times on her show. And we're trying to bring a resolution to a very big epidemic. So what I started doing is not just thinking about abuse, but I include the elderly, I include the youth, I include men and women. So I don't leave out anybody. I try to help everyone that's in need, as many as God lets me lay my hands on to step in that arena and help. So we go around, we feed the homeless. We also go around bringing awareness, which is, I have even printed out a flyer that's for gaslight, and that's giving you some signs, and we talk about safety. But the thing about it, being that this is domestic violence awareness month, you have to understand that this is bigger than what you ever imagined. So to jump into that situation, you have to know what you're doing. So I have taken many kind of classes with the wonderful Andrea. I've taken some training as well. I've taken training with other people, but that training has led me to be a leader who knows what she's doing, and I continue to take education. So what I do is I start by going out and talking to people, having conversations, being the voice for the voiceless is what I always say. And I speak to people in different arenas to tell them how I went through it. But let me say this, I am not the storyline anymore. I am not. I'm an overcomer. I don't even call myself a survivor. I'm an overcomer. So we don't talk about me anymore. It's not about me. It's about helping somebody else get to that same status. And that is continued work out here in the streets, virtual meetings like this, doing the work of education and putting the knowledge out there before people. So when you come into my church, which is with Apostle Elaine, is a River of Life. We do events there, and we talk and we share with the children, because let's just talk about the COVID-19. This is the reason why we are doing things virtually, but it does not mean that you stop altogether. You just learn to do it a better way. And Andrew is a great example of that. So we're doing a lot of online. We have talked to children about their feelings with the epidemic, and they have talked about depression, anxiety. That is so important right now because it's very high. So I've been doing a lot in the community. We're talking about anxiety with COVID-19. And COVID-19 has made people feel very depressed because their money is cut off. They don't have anywhere to go. Kids are home and, spouses are home. Now, what the big bang is, people are stuck with their abuser. And they cannot remove themselves. They can't move around like they once was doing. So there's trapped there with them. So you have to have these tools in line of how to deal with that. And that is bringing a lot of anxiety and depression. So what is it that you do? You have to maintain, you have to have a changed mindset, you have to stay focused, and you have to know that there is outlets, even though we are closed down and things are not accepting us to come in now, and we're not able to directly speak with you or be right in front of you. So now you have to speak. And you have to be that voice. So when I'm hitting the streets and feeding the homeless and also going around talking to them about abuse, we are saying that we need you. We need you. We need you. We need you to be involved. We need you to get out and speak these words, because this is the start of a new beginning. And all I've learned is that a changed mindset is that beginning, and also accepting God and learning to love yourself. So my whole precious thing about abuse and offer everybody else is that love yourself. That's what loving yourself no more abuse is about. It's about loving you. It's about changing your mindset, encouraging yourself, knowing that you're worthy. And when you do these things, that brings a blessing to you. And also, I know that when I'm out here, the people come to me and they say certain things, and they may not tell you indirectly that they're in an abusive relationship. But if you were in one, do you get what I'm saying, Andrea? You can tell a person that's in an abusive relationship. You can tell with their body language and just how they may talk
it's
to you.
It's like they be feeling you out.
Yeah, they're filling you out to see if they can feel comfortable letting you know what's going on. So, sometimes I smile a lot, because if anybody watches my videos in my group, I smile, because I want people not to pick up that I'm trying to read them. So I smile and I'll be like, yeah, how you doing? Oh, you look very pretty today. You got a beautiful smile. I do those things to make them feel comfortable, because again, they are closed down because they don't know who to trust. They don't know who to open up to. They don't know what you're about. You really don't know what they're about. You're just filling them out. But when you do these things, it makes them more comfortable to come to you. So that's the reason why I keep my face out there. That's the reason why I go around feeding the homeless and having conversations. And guess what? Even though they are homeless, I talk to them. I have been protected. If you guys seen videos, I had my mask on. I had everything that I needed. I even danced with a homeless man. And then he told me his story. We were two-stepping. And it was really nice. It was really nice. I felt so empowered, because I was like, this man is happy in spite of. And that's what people need to know. Be happy in spite of. But at the same time, you can learn to do some things and get some knowledge out there. Even though the knowledge is where you can't walk through the doors at the moment, you can still get the knowledge. So I give out these flyers saying what domestic violence, what the signs are, the safety to get out. I go from community to community. And as Andrea said, I've been to South Carolina, I've been to North Carolina. Oh my gosh, I've been everywhere. I'm always packed with a suitcase. Somebody tell me you need to sit down and rest sometime, but I can't, because God put this on me so hard that I don't want to rest. I want to be that person. I can't save everybody. And I want y'all to know that I can't save everyone, but as many that I can save, I will. And I want you guys to know this. I'm a little different from anybody else that been on Andrea's show. I like to be more unspeakable, and I like to be a little more happier, because I know people already are not happy. So I want to smile. I want you to smile. I want you to feel my joy that I have in my life now. So what I say to you guys is that smile in spite of. endure things, but understand that there's another side to it. There's another way of getting out. There's another way of sharing yourself and sharing your story privately. And if you down the road want it to come out, then we understand how to do it. But you have to start somewhere, and that starts with yourself. And that starts, let me love myself. Let me understand what God is putting on me and what he wants me to do. Let me know that my mindset can change a lot of things. And that has to be that. You have to be willing to commit and willing to change. And you have to be willing to say, I can, and take I can't out of your vocabulary, because I can't holds down a lot of people. And it takes you to a storm where you go, you know what, if I say I can't all the time, that's the devil telling you you can't move, and you can move. You can move. You can do things. You can go out here and explore options. And I am one of those options. You can text me, you can message me. I always am aware of and keeping up with my messages. I tell people, look, when you're going through, still journal everything that you're going through, time, place, storyline, what happened, everything. If you had to call anybody in, put that in, but be very, very careful of whom you connect to,
And
because
that is so important. And you know, Katrina, as I sit here listening to you, and I just want to go, because I remember when we first met, and I always like to talk about how I met someone. And when we first met, it was through our mutual friend, Jean's event that she had. Again, you had come up from South Carolina to North Carolina to speak to the teens in that day. And I heard you, and I heard your story, and I heard your passion. And you've always been phenomenal with sharing and, just as you said, loving yourself and teaching others to do that. But Katrina, I just want to take this time to say that I see you. I've seen your growth. I've seen how you've blossomed. I've seen how you've boldly walked into the mission God has given you with your head straight up. You couldn't have done the
thank
things
you.
that you have done without feeling completely, as I would say, in harmony.
Yes.
And I just
Yeah.
want to thank you for saying yes.
Oh, you're so welcome.
I've seen your growth. I've seen what you've done. I've seen how you've, like you said, you've taken classes and you've moved and you've switched things around just so that you could be in alignment with where God is taking you.
Yes, it's very empowering, and I'm proud of myself also, because I mean, I learned from you. You know, you have to get the information, you have to learn the steps, you have to. I also had to research myself, you know, so I had to stop for a little bit and do some self-care on Katrina,
Right.
because the self-care on myself is that I had to really look deep inside of me to understand me too, and know that I'm definitely over it. You understand? And understand what God is putting on me and why he did it. And then kind of go back and reflect on myself and situations that I've been through. So don't think anybody that's watching is that this is a perfect person. I'm still healing. I'm work in progress every day. Every day. You understand? I don't want no one to think just because we say we're overcoming that we don't. We still have triggers. We still have moments. But my moments have been dealt with meditation. I learned how to meditate. I learned not to act out. And I have learned that my words can be more damaging than anything else. So I learned to be silent. I learned to walk and be silent and listen and observe. That
Ooh,
has
that's
taught
a
me a
powerful
lot.
lesson right there.
Yeah, that's a lesson that I had to learn, and I learned it the hard way. But guess what? Everybody, we endure things because we need to learn that. We need to learn lessons, because as you learn lessons, that's how you overcome and become a greater you as a person out here in public. So I had to go through bad people, bad situations, all of this to get to where I am today. I mean, I think when Andrea is talking about that moment when I spoke back then, I was a little more bold. I think I was just, I was getting into it. So I was a little bold and hype, and I'm more calm and cute with it and more professional. So that's why I understand when she's saying I'm growing, because she's seen me from the beginning. And I really appreciate somebody saying that to me, because I know where I came from. But I know where God has taken me. I know the journey that God said is, I'm going to put this on you, but I'm going to show you step by step, and you're going to educate yourself as you go along to know what it is that you're doing. You won't just be talking just to be talking, because if I'm talking just to be talking, I can do that over the phone with anybody. But if I'm talking to somebody who's been through something, I need to know what I'm talking about.
Right. And and
And I
and
need
and, and that's the piece of it. And that's my whole piece of why I support people like you. And I say people like you as in advocates. And as I put in there, I consider you as one of my power sister warriors that's out there, because it is a war. We're fighting a war against domestic violence. And because someone at some point in their life has said, okay, women are fair game. And we know that
right.
there's men being abused too, but the women is over 90% of who's
It
been
is.
abused, and it's been the norm. So I'm having to disrupt the normalcy of domestic violence by changing what it looks like. And when I
Right.
have people like you and some of our other power sisters that we're able to collaborate with, that makes a difference in what's out there. And as you said a couple of things I wanted to point out. One, Katrina, you talked about going out and speaking to the homeless and feeding the homeless, and I saw you got some masks and a whole lot. So you must be planning your way out this weekend. And
I
so
am.
but people are going, okay, well, if she's a domestic violence advocate, why is she feeding the homeless? And they fail to realize that one of the prime reason women are homeless is because of what?
Is because
Domestic
of
violence.
domestic violence. And someone said that to me, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a great statement right there. A lot of people say that has nothing to do with domestic violence. Yes, it does, because a lot of the women that's in the streets came from a domestic violence relationship, and that's the reason why they're there. So never say that feeding the homeless, giving them hygiene products, or giving them masks, that is helping them. I'm not just out there for that. I'm helping them in every way that I can. If I can feed you for 2 or 3 days, give you a good hot meal, I'm going to do so, because God says it's in everything we do, everything. Okay. We have to cover our sisters and our brothers. So that's what I do. If I give you food or a bag of hygiene products, that is something, because I've talked to these homeless people, and they have told me some really tremendous, horrifying stories. And I can tell you about one lady. She told me about how her husband stabbed her. She showed me the marks, and I literally have to fight back tears talking to these people, because I'm like, wow. And when people look at them and they see they're homeless, they already judging them, and you don't even know their story. You don't know their story. You can't just judge people off of what they look like, because it's a reason that they're in the situation they're in. So I have become a person where I don't judge. I don't judge, because I don't know anyone's story. So what I do, I listen and I be concerned. And if I can offer them a card, or even if I have to reach out to them and say, they're in a different state, I can refer them to Andrea. I can refer them to Miss Benton, anybody. So that's why I keep a close connect with Andrea as well, and other people, because these people are all over the world. But do not put a judgment on them, and do not talk to them about you. Talk to them about them, because they need someone to listen to them. It's not about us anymore. We are out here making a difference, but it's not about us. We are the tool to them getting to where we are right now, and to what we're doing out here, and trying to show them to be an overcomer. So don't stay on your story, because your story will make them say, well, to me, it seemed like she just wanted to talk about her. She don't hear what I'm going through. She just want to talk about what she
And
went
I
through.
caution everybody. We think that, and I think part of, and Katrina, you know me, I think a little different than mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so I hear it all the time. Your story is not for you. Your story is for someone else to make their breakthrough. I'm
Right.
not saying that that's not true,
Right.
but you need to know the platform to tell your story.
Point. That's a
Because
great
your
point. Yeah,
story is for someone else doesn't mean that everybody needs to hear it.
that's right. That's
At
right.
some point, like you just said, you need to be the listener, and you need to be able to listen to someone else's story, the person that you're trying to help. And if they ask you for a nugget of yours, put it
Mm-hmm.
in. But
Then
it's
it's
not
the
about,
edit.
I understand you. I remember when it happened to me. Now you just switched it. And it's no longer about the person you're serving. It's all on you.
Right. And then you break that connection with that person because they're gonna get lost, like, okay, well, you was talking about me and now
Wait
you
a minute,
switch it
hold
back
up.
to
I
you.
missed something.
Yeah, like where did the conversation change? And those are the things that I'm saying to you guys right here, admitting that I used to do and I had to learn. So like I said, I had to learn and I had to grow in this thing. I really did, and I still take education all the time online. I think I posted on Facebook the classes I was taking. I was taking them so much I was falling asleep on my laptop because I was trying to do so much. I was trying to do so much.
I'm getting it through osmosis, but I'm getting it.
I'm getting it right. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? As long as I'm doing it, and like I said, this is the things you have to do because you can't talk about stuff that you don't know anything about. We can't love on people about this if we can't explain it or say this is what I mean, what you have to do and these are the steps. And that is a long time process. Okay, I don't expect, when I talk to victims, I don't expect them to jump out their relationship that same day. I don't tell them that. I tell them you have to have a safety plan. You have to put that in line. Until then, like I said, document. I can't say enough that you should document your stuff that you go through, date, time, whatever. Find an outlet. Make sure your circle are people who really are in your circle for you and support you and want to see you do better. Do not get people who do not want to support what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, because that will stifle your progress and trying to get away. That would change your whole mindset again, because that's somebody mentally disturbing your thoughts. And like we said, you have to have a changed mindset. So if you're not mentally having the people in your circle to support what you're doing, then you need to look at it and remove yourself from them. Keep people who you can confide in, people who is going to help you with those measures of steps of safety. Okay. You also want to be aware of, try to keep your children with you. Okay. Do not separate you and your children. Keep your children. It's a foundation. And this is a foundation. It may be a little broken, but you can put it back together. And as that foundation is together, you can go on, because your kids, I just want to say this, your kids suffer just as much as you, from younger to older. I have a young man who was suffering, and now he's asking about his dad. But understand this, that means he remembered that back now, but now that he's older and 16, now he's questioning it. That's the same thing as victims with children. Your kids will ask you later down the line, and that's why I get children involved. That's why I have mentor programs, because they need to understand about abuse as well. You need to teach them to go out and teach their friends and give that knowledge to their friends, because we have kids that's in teen dating violence. So abuse is in every aspect of life. Okay. You can say right now, while you listen to me, oh, I don't know nobody in abuse relation. Yes, you do. It might be a coworker, it might be an associate, it might
And it
be the
may be you.
mailman or the mail girl. It's somebody around you in your circle. So when there's events, there's empowerment, go to them, because you're
And
empowering
take a friend.
yourself. Yeah, you're empowering yourself with that information for whoever may come to you with that, because somewhere in your lifetime you're going to run across that. So that's why you should never say never. Never say never. Never put yourself in a place like where you're saying, okay, I got a friend in an abusive relationship, but I don't know what to say to them. You can know what to say to them if you would start feeling like this. I need to involve myself in this situation and go and get some knowledge myself so that I know what to do and what to say. Don't
And you
think
know,
this is the
Katrina, they
hmm,
had and I'm glad you brought that subject up, because I've created a freebie, what they call, for
uh-huh.
people. And I got, when I was creating it, I was trying to think, what can I put? What do we need here? And it's self development.
Yes.
So it's self-development tips, and I had to go ahead and look at it because I can't never remember it, but I'm gonna go ahead and post it.
Yeah, post
If
it.
people will go there, it's bit.ly/12 tips 60. So
Okay.
it gives 12 self-development tips for anyone that's a servant leader, that's an advocate, that's in the church, that's trying to help in this war. These are self-development tips you need to do so you're ready when you meet that person.
That's true.
Because as you're saying, Katrina, and it's so important that we work on ourselves.
Yes.
You
I
know,
mean,
I've been talking about the event coming up next week, and I'll go ahead and put that in also.
yeah, do that.
It's coming up. It's being broadcasted from Atlanta. I've partnered with an awesome international speaker, Lori Pelzer, and it's not the first time I've worked with Lori. The first time that I worked with Lori, I was actually um coaching with her. She was my transformational coach. And when people hear me talk that I took out 2016, as you said, in self development and how to transformational coach. So I was on the coaching side with Lori. Now we're partnering in the Girl Is Your Life tour. And I'm a part of that. But this year's theme is about color. How are
Okay.
you living? What's the color of your life? Are you allowing color in your life? And as I was talking this morning on my prayer call, I got to thinking, and it was brought to me, when you're living in dark colors, we're not letting light in.
Mm, exactly.
And you don't even think about that. But when you're looking at all deep colors and you're talking about living in the past and I was hurt, and I hate that phrase, hurt people.
I don't
It
like
may
that
be
phrase either.
true, it may be happen, but you can make a decision not to hurt.
Mm,
I still believe that hurt people make a decision, and you need to make a conscious decision to not hurt. And how
right.
do you do that? You do that with your self development. You do that with your give back. Do that by beating the streets like my sister here has done. Talk to the homeless. See why they're in the streets.
That's right.
Don't sit and judge. Oh, well, they need to go sit down. Oh, they just trying to get some money. Oh, they just want some money for another drink. You don't know what they're doing. And you and if this pandemic of COVID has not taught you anything else, it
Mm,
should tell you that you're about 3 months from being next to them.
mm. Come on now.
Because when this the way this country is going economically, when your money is gone, the government can't keep giving money because there's none to give. We're
Right.
going to all be homeless and being a part of another country because we're going to lose our freedom.
Right.
So we need to start looking at what is literally going on in our lives, building up ourselves, being
Mm,
able to the people that are growing in this pandemic. And if you just look at the sisters that are growing, the men, but I'm talking about the sisters because that's who I was called to deal with in this arena that are helping people. That's who's growing. Have you noticed that, Katrina?
I
The
have. I have
greatest that
noticed
are
that.
out there that are out there
Mhm.
coaching and sharing and
Yeah.
events, that's who's growing because we're in this space that where people need to sit down,
And
listen,
reevaluate their life and check themselves. Check themselves.
check yourself,
Do a
check
self-care plan
yourself.
on yourself. I'm even talking about that, and I really started that with Tiffany, the self-care thing, and Alicia Richardson. But you know what? That is so important, and really, I'm not saying that God brought this epidemic on with COVID-19, but He brought this on for you to open your eyes and broaden your thoughts and sit you down to make you look at yourself and look at what you're doing in life. This is a time to reflect, and if with that reflection, sit your children down and let them reflect with you too. This is a bonding time. This is a godly time where God is saying, sit down, pay attention, close your mouth, and listen to what
Watch.
I'm trying to show you.
Because I mean, and the thing is too with that, think about it. Even if we say we can't say, well, God put this on us and we don't know. We know that it was man made. It was made
It sure was.
and
Mm-hmm.
so, but it was meant for bad. And what does God do with things for his people that was meant for bad?
He turns into something good.
How about that one?
That's right.
Where we at?
turning into something good. So you guys better be opening. You better take them blinders off. You better be listening. You better just pay attention, put your focus on the right thing, and stay in line with God. I'm telling you, I'm smiling like this because God is good in my life. And you understand, I don't care what people say about me because it's not about me, it's about the people. So God said, if you help my people, then I am truly happy with you, my daughter. So that's who my blessings come from. That's where I look to. I look to him through good, bad, middle case. It doesn't matter. That's what everybody needs to get focused on, is that it's not about us, it's about God. And God said he shared his life, and then his life was taken for us. So why can't we do the same thing with one another? Why can't we share the care and involve and unite for the fight for domestic violence, for gun violence, for many things that's out here that we need support on? But don't go and backlash the people who are doing it when you can join us to make it even better. But you rather sit back and judge and talk. Come on. That talking ain't gonna move nothing. But when you put your action behind it, that's when you see change come about. And that's what Katrina Thomas is about. I'm about putting action behind my words. So you're not gonna sit up and say, I see Trina post this and post that. You know why I post it? Because I need y'all to see what God had me to do and let God show you how to do it too. So maybe you'll look at me and say, I'm giving you some kind of lesson. Okay, because Andrea gave me lessons. I listen to her. I take in what she says. I even take notes. You understand? And it has created the person I'm sitting right here in front of you. I'm who I am. I'm that person. I'm that person that I feel better about myself. My self-esteem is up. There's no depression. There's no anxiety. Even though things are like this, I thank God I still have a job. I thank God for life and breath in my body and being able to have food on my table. That's what you need to be thankful for. Be thankful and be giving and be caring and be sharing. Want to know my slogan? My
Go
slogan
ahead.
is I live to learn and I learn to live.
That's
There
it.
you go.
That's it. So as we end up this, Katrina, go ahead and let them know how they can get in touch with you. Are you primarily on Facebook, or how if they want to go out and hit the streets with you, or they want to find out how they can do it in their area, how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, the first way you can get in touch with me is all lowercase, is my email, which is lovingyourself66 at gmail.com. I am on Instagram under Loving Yourself No More Abuse. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. Just reach out. Reach out. I mean, if you want to join me in my walk of hitting these streets and feeding, or donating, anything that you need to do, you can contact me. Even if you want to volunteer, this is not about money. Okay, this is not about money with me. It's about giving back to the ones that are unfortunate who needs us. So if you are willing to do the walk with me and just want to volunteer, I appreciate that as well. If you feel in your heart that God puts that in your heart to donate, then that's what you do. But I'm not the judge on that. That's between you and God. But those are the ways that you can get in contact with me. I'm on Facebook a whole lot when I'm walking, when I'm just talking about things. I'm on Andrea's page all the time too, looking at stuff. And if I don't be able to see people's things, I do involve myself with other people. I know Valerie Simmons. I know a lot of people. So this is not the only outlet, and I don't want you guys to take away from this, that it's all about loving yourself, no more abuse. I uplift and encourage all my sisters. As you heard Andrea say, I travel everywhere to support my sisters, the ones that I know are truly out here stomping these grounds and doing things like Andrea. I give them 100 plus 10% behind them. So those are the ways. I just want you guys to know there's a way out. You're not alone. Don't feel like my head is against the wall and I'm banging it and I don't have anyone to turn to. If it's not me, I have a sisterhood. I really do. And I just say, think about it, okay? Think about it. Put yourself first. Love yourself and decide what is best for you and yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited as always to have you, Katrina, for
Thank
us to get
you.
together and have chats like this. And always, everybody, I don't even know if they've noticed, but each year I always bring you back to see what you've done. It's always something phenomenal. And as you say, your support has been great. And so I just want to tell everyone, get yourself some power sisters.
Get you
Get
some
yourself
power.
a circle that's growing. If they're not growing, then they need to be going.
Mm, amen to that. You need to be moving on.
You need to be moving. So I want everybody, the links are in there. There's some, if you wanted to make a change, I've put the link in there for the event next week, 5 days, less than $20, $19.99. I put the link in there for a free, about 12 self-development tips to start your advocacy career. I put the email in there to get in touch with Katrina if you want to see how she's doing, what she's doing, to either donate, to grow with her, to go with her, hitting the streets. All I need you to do is be a part of the DV change. There's no time to just be aware and look and say, oh, I believe her, and you're not doing anything. If you haven't put any action behind your words, then you need to self-evaluate. You need to look at the color in your life, and you need to bring some harmony in your life. And so I just want to thank you again, Katrina. I want to
You're
thank all of
welcome.
you that have been. I know Sabrina. Sabrina says she's excited about her. Sabrina's one of my other power sisters, y'all. Y'all just, I want y'all to start watching her because Sabrina's about to blow up. She don't even know Dr. Sabrina. We done told her who she gonna be. But Sabrina over there turning jealous. She mad at me now because I done called her out, but that's okay. She's another one of my power sisters. Katrina had just graduated from my Jennifer Y. Merriman Help program. She's a domestic violence help.
Congratulations.
And so
Congratulations.
she is one who is working with teens. I'd love for you guys to hook up, Katrina,
I
because
would
she
too.
is looking to grow with the teen girls and build some
Okay.
programs and ambassadorships around that.
Okay.
And what you've done with your mentorship program and the teens that you have that are working through that, you guys could do some great work with that.
Okay. Get
Um,
in touch with me, Sabrina. That'll be awesome.
So Sabrina, reach out to Katrina. She's doing some great things. She has a wonderful mentorship program. I know
Yes.
Sabrina's looking to open a transitional home for teens. So
Awesome.
that would be something that would be great. Yes, I'm putting all her business out there in the streets, but that's okay because now it's been spoken. It's look from our lips to God's ears. Let's make it
That's
happen.
right. It can
And
happen. It's going to happen.
okay.
Trust and believe. Have faith. It's going to happen, Sabrina. And if I can do anything to help you spread it down here in Georgia, let me know because I'm about that business.
Okay.
I love helping the kids.
So next week I will be, let's see, today is Friday, right? I'm so confused.
Mhm.
So I'll be back next week, next Monday in morning tea chat. Next week is gonna be kind of iffy because I will be in Atlanta starting Wednesday. I'm coming in on train, playing automobile something. I'll be there. So Katrina, hopefully we can hook up next week and
I
get
will for
together.
you. We will.
All right.
I
Everyone,
love
thank
you.
you again. Love you, Trina. Love all of you. Catch you Monday morning until we meet again. I pray that your life continues to have hope, harmony, and happiness. Bye bye.
Bye bye.